Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. It's Wednesday, new album day here on the channel. We've got a brand new one, hot off the presses. This one just came out literally 2 weeks ago. They're on Nuclear Blast Records. Okay, this is a UK band, been around for quite some time. This is their 12th studio album. The band is progressive metal veterans Threshold, Dividing Lines. Got a little bit of glare there. Of course, this is the band long led by guitarist Carl Groom, keyboardist Richard West. Got Johanny James on drums, Steve Anderson on bass, and once again on lead vocals. He has had numerous stints in the band over the years. He was one of the vocalists in the early mid-90s. Took a long break from the band, came back in 2017. He's been with them ever since. Glenn Morgan. All right, so let's take a little look here at the booklet. Okay, of course you got full lyrics. There they are, right there. If you haven't listened to Threshold and you're a prog metal fan, they are a bit different than some of the other progressive metal bands out there. Like I said, they've been around for quite a long time. Their first album came out in 1993. That was Wounded Land. So they basically burst on the scene right as Dream Theater were starting to really get big, maybe a little bit afterwards, but never really following in line with the style of Dream Theater. I always thought that Threshold were more akin to some of the British kind of prog bands of the 80s and the early 90s. Kind of to me, they always seemed like a little heavier take on, IQ and Pendragon and Marillion, that sort of thing, adding a little bit more metal elements to their sound, but not going the Dream Theater route with the really, the higher pitched vocals and the big, huge crushing riffs and the lots of guitar solos and keyboard solos. And yeah, they do a little bit of that here and there, but there's a big difference between a Dream Theater, a Symphony X, a Vanden Plas, a Seventh Wonder, and Threshold. Threshold were always definitely a little bit more melodic, definitely a little moodier. There's a lot. I always found the music of Threshold to be a little more kind of dramatic sounding, a little moodier, maybe a little darker in spots, but very, very melodic, very easy to listen to, but more song-based. They were never all about, the big, long, lengthy songs and the, instrumentals and lots of interplay between guitar and keyboards and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like I said, they do a little bit of that on occasion, but they, to me, were always more about songs and less about, we know how to play our instruments, let's show you some serious chops type of thing. And again, they've had various singers over the years. Damian Wilson, obviously, was in the band at the beginning. He's also been in and out of the band a few times. He's now singing for Arena. Glenn Morgan, terrific singer, very melodic voice. You've got 10 tracks on here. This produced by Carl Groom and Richard West. Like I said, the two main guys in the band. Hall of Echoes, terrific song. Haunted, the opener, really, really good. Great choruses on this. Really, really catchy stuff. I'll name all the tracks for you. You got Haunted, Hall of Echoes, Let It Burn, Silenced, The Domino Effect, Complex, King of Nothing. That's a terrific song, King of Nothing. Lost Along the Way, Run, and Defense Condition. Again, dramatic, moody, yet heavy stuff. Thought-provoking, great vocals. He's a really good singer, really good singer. Good guitar work, great keys, rhythms are fantastic. This is one of those bands that you listen to. I always thought this about Threshold. You don't get immediately the big wow factor. It's not you get a new Dream Theater album or a Symphony X album and you just wow, did you hear that guitar solo? Wow, did you hear that riff? Oh, did you hear that vocal passage? Oh, did you hear that long extended unison thing? It's there's less kind of eye-catching wow moments, but more throughout the whole album. It's just this constant enjoyment, and I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but to me that's always been the music of Threshold. I like to listen to their albums as albums, and it's always very pleasing. It's just heavy enough, it's just proggy enough, but it's just good song-based progressive metal, but it's not too much in the metal camp, it's not too much in the prog camp, it's somewhere in between. always high quality. They've never released a stinker album to my knowledge. In my opinion, I've got all of them, and they're all highly listenable, very enjoyable. And they're just one of those consistent bands that just keeps pumping out really, really great albums that sometimes I think we take for granted. They're you know, I'm just as guilty when I'm in conversations with people and I talk about like some of the great prog metal bands and prog metal albums. I always forget to bring them up, but yet they're a band that every year, every time they come out with a new album, I get it, I review it, I love it. It ranks very high on my year-end list, right? It's always, you know, up there somewhere. And then I wind up going back and listening to some of the other bands that, you know, I tend to gravitate towards. And they always, for me, get lost in the shuffle. But they're one of the best ones out there. I don't know what it is. Dependable, always really, really solid to very good to great. But I overlook them. And like I said, I have conversations with people all the time, and they very rarely come up. But then when you mention, like, oh yeah, Threshold, they're great, I love them. It's like, oh, but I didn't think to mention them, right? They didn't pop into my head first. So in saying that, all that, if you haven't listened to Threshold and you like heavier progressive music, even, you know, bordering on progressive metal, you really need to check them out. And this is a great place to start. I'm liking this a lot. I'm finding a lot of the songs are instantly memorable, great vocals and choruses, and like I said, it's just heavy enough, still pretty proggy, but it's not too far into the weeds into either. So really good stuff. So Dividing Lines, latest from Nuclear Blast, Threshold. Check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. 4.5 out of 5 star, easy. Again, I really like all their albums, but it's definitely one of their stronger ones in most recent times. Probably in their whole discography. It's hard. I don't think I've ever rated a Threshold album, to my knowledge, less than 4 out of 5 star. They're all really, really good, and this is another one. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post, and please do hit the like button. Also, down below, we've got the link to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations and the link to our merch page for all sorts of cool Sea Tranquility stuff. So I think that'll be it for new reviews today, but like I said, we got coming up probably next week and the week after, we've got new Return to Forever archival live. We got new James Labrie, new Spell, new archival release Samsara Blues Experiment. They're no longer together, but we got like a little rarities and archive stuff. We got new Eden Bridge, new Iron Allies, new Dave Longden, and a few other things. So and then that'll be it for the year. We'll hopefully move on to 2023 stuff starting in January. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. See you real soon. Bye-bye.